Hi, we're the Kings. I'm Tank. It's Ice in this really retarded turtle shirt. Look, dude. Look, if it was the movie Turtles, if it was the Turtles from the 1990 movie, dude, mad props. But it's them.
It's from the cartoon series.
I hate the cartoon series.
I loved it when I was a kid.
I just hate the cartoon series.
I honestly, if I probably watched it now, I'd probably hate it too. But I was a little kid, so you don't get off my back.
Oh,
we're pop culture kings. We gotta have pop culture stuff.
Fine. Doesn't have you, dude. That's a damn. Well, just damn. Anyway, this is why you're a virgin. Anywho, we are the Kings. Let's do this. What are we talking about today, sir?
Okay, we're gonna talk about the unfortunate rumors that were spreading. They're not true. We're kind of sad about that.
I'm cool.
I'm not. We're gonna talk about the rumors. So go tell us what the rumors were, because
the rumor was that Fox and Marvel Entertainment made a deal for Fox to do 2 television shows. One based on the Hellfire Club, and the other one on Xavier's kid. I don't know that story. I forgot what it's called. Anywho.
Yeah, I don't know that story either.
But 2 shows. So the rumor was that in exchange for this happening, Fox had to give up rights to Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, and Galactus. So the scuttlebutt was, Marvel Disney, Marvel proper got them back in one of the untitled movies for the 2020 release dates. People were like, oh, naturally, one of them is going to be Fantastic Four. Halt! Fox was like, no, they were directly contacted and said, complete BS. We still have Fantastic Four. And I'm like, I'm not surprised. So rumor quashed. So let us move on with our lives.
Yeah. Because originally it was supposed to be, everyone thought they had the rights for the movies. Because if you see, they don't really put any toys. I remember the first one had toys. The first X-Men movie had toys. Mm-hmm. But, none of the, I don't think any of the Spider-Man movies did.
Well, the bigger Marvel got, when they were sort of regaining all their properties, the more strict they got. So once they had Disney behind them, that's when you start saying, okay, we're going to cancel Fantastic Four. Granted, it's not selling what it used to, but guess what? We don't have the movie rights. Why are we giving them free publicity? It's not selling crap anyway. Cancel it. And now you're seeing in the comic books the X-Men kind of starting to be phased out a little bit as more importance is put on the Inhumans, because the Inhumans are going to be Marvel's version of the X-Men, and that movie's coming out in 2019. So that's what's going on. So people are like thinking, oh man, Marvel got Fantastic Four back, which means they got a couple things that they sorely need. Yeah. Villains. Because, honestly, all their awesome villains are going to be on the Netflix shows, which I appreciate. They're big movie villains. I'm hoping Thanos is awesome, but outside of Loki, they haven't really been that memorable.
Yeah.
Even Ultron was, came off more like a whiny bitch with daddy issues than an actual threat. But...
Thank you, Disney.
And I don't even remember what the bad guy's motivation was in that, man. Again, my bad. Daddy issues. The psychopath with daddy issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
They definitely need to sit back and look at their villain situation. I mean, it's
Loki.
It's lacking severely.
Loki. Daddy issues.
And brother issues.
Yeah, but Fox, I keep telling people, I told people from the get-go, Fox was not going to let go of that property.
Yeah.
And no matter how bad the movie did, Fox was going to keep that property because they still intend on doing something with it. And plus, I think it kind of tickles them a little bit to know that how much Marvel kind of needs it. Because they need Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much as Doctor Doom, Doctor whatever, but
Galactus,
you get Galactus back. You can put everyone in
Yes.
Marvel against that guy,
and on
just
top of
make
it, I know Marvel will really love to have a Silver Surfer.
Yeah, you can definitely see him doing his own show.
Especially given how successful Guardians of the Galaxy was, because that opened up the door for Captain Marvel, and
yeah, too bad they're doing a chick version of it though. That kind of disappointed me.
he said it. He said it.
Well, I'm just saying they're doing a lot of PC stuff, you know, and it just...
I don't like the character anyway. Okay, so
I mean, yeah, I don't
fan.
care about the character
So,
either way, but, I mean...
He said it, so send all your hate mail ice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, they're just doing everything PC right now, trying to please everyone. Iceman's now gay. And it's just all the stupid stuff they're doing. And it's just... If you want to do a gay character, make a gay character. Just don't put somebody and make him gay, or do Spider-Man. Have whatever morals guy. He's like black and Mexican or whatever together.
Miles Morales.
Yeah, which is fine. But once again, come on, man.
Well, the thing was with Miles Morales is that you question why they did it. Or what. I'm just glad they did do it, and I'm glad that the character turned out to be really popular.
Yeah,
because people really like the character. So, and Marvel knows that, and that's a character they said, look, we're going to have that character in our back pocket, but according to Sony, if any of you read the list, Sony, Spider-Man is Peter Parker and he's white. Okay, that's it. Yeah. All right. And that's how Sony wants it, and that's cool, because that's the character, so right on. But I think they're keeping that in their back pocket. Look, we can have other versions of Spider-Man.
You can do a different version of Spider-Man.
Sony was entertaining the idea of doing a Spider-Man movie with just the female characters. An Aunt May movie. Not kidding. The Sinister Six movie, which they did reveal was actually a Spider-Man movie. It was just called Sinister Six. But given because people keep confusing the fact that they think that Marvel has Spider-Man now. They don't. Sony still is the distributor of the movies. Marvel gets to share him. They get to use him in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Sony gets to reap those benefits. But the character stays at Sony.
Yeah.
So, if Sony decides tomorrow, hey, we're going to do a Spider-Gwen movie. Okay. They're going to have to make it work in those two continuities. One will address it, one won't. But whatever. But it's just that the whole thing with Marvel now, they really could use a villain like Galactus because, dude, their movies, their villains have just been so forgettable.
Yeah. Well, once again, they have a lot of villains, and Galactus is a cosmic being. And they have a lot of really good cosmic beings if they want to take that chance with them. At this point, I mean, after Thanos, they're going to have to do something because, once again, they're running out of stuff. And they're running out quick. So, I mean, they have villains that are B-list or C, whatever you want to call them. They're not popular, but once again, you see how the Mandarin was. We like the Mandarin up to Trevor points.
Well, you gotta understand, of the 3 Iron Man movies, not one of them had a great villain.
No,
none of them had a great villain. The Mandarin was turning out to be an awesome villain up until they ruined it.
Yes. So, like I said, they have the potential to turn any guy. Even they can freaking make one up. They're Marvel. They can put a guy in a comic book next week and okay, he's gonna be the villain. They could do that. I mean, that's actually kind of smart. Build them up. They could do that. All it takes is just good writing for a good villain. That's all it is. Get someone likable, whatever.
If any of you know the comic books, especially in the 80s and the 90s, all of the big bad villains were produced from X-Men, and let's be honest, the one character that Marvel has, well, doesn't have, that the only superhero that has just as good as a rogues gallery as Batman is Spider-Man. You have Spider-Man with all of those villains, all those rich villains, and let's be honest, if you read the comics, look how often you see Fantastic Four dealing with the Venom, or Fantastic Four dealing with the Carnage, or the X-Men dealing with the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and on top of it, you've seen the Avengers going against, X-Men all the time.
Yeah.
But I think Marvel is not that they don't have a lot of villains. I think a lot of people, myself included, kind of get that confused. If they just add Galactus, they'll be fine. If they just add Doctor Doom, they'll be fine. No, they have plenty of villains. It's just in the movies, the focus really just isn't on them at all.
Yeah.
The villains are just plot devices. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And Bucky, in the Winter Soldier, he's really not even a villain because Bucky's going to be Bucky again eventually. But like the Robert Redford character in the Winter Soldier, I forget his name in the movie.
Yeah.
But he came off as kind of, he acted the part fine. He just came off a little one note and.
Yeah, you barely see him. We just need to see him more and, develop the character just a little bit more.
And you can't even say Loki now because they've turned Loki into an anti-hero. And it's just like the villain in Thor the Dark World, Malekith. I mean, he was just there. Yeah. Marvel they have villains. It's just the focus in the movies is that the villains are just plot devices. And I get that because, again, that's kind of the Disney aspect. The good guys are, great, and there's nothing that can mess with the good guy and blah, blah, blah. And the good guy is always the focus. And even Captain America, the First Avenger, I mean, the Red Skull is, his arch nemesis. And, it was like Hugo Weaving chewing up the scenery. You know what I mean? Not that he was bad. It's just it wasn't all that memorable.
Yeah. So it's just like the point for let's say in the Joker and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't there. He wasn't in that much. You'd seen here and there popped up until the very end. But his scenes when he was in there, he just stole everything he was in, and that's what Marvel characters need to do. If you're not in a lot, whatever, I know obviously that's got to focus on them, but he just stole everything.
It's not a mistake that Kingpin was such an amazing villain on Daredevil. It's because that was essentially a 10-episode movie.
Yeah.
And they had time to go into his character, to flesh him out.
Yeah, which movies can do.
The movies they can, it's just the movies are, Disney is essentially in movie form selling rides. They're supposed to be fun.
Yes.
At the end of the day. And, Avengers Age of Ultron, it was a fun movie. It wasn't what the first one was, but it's still a fun movie. And Ant-Man is a cute, fun movie. It's just they're harder edged. If you go to a Marvel movie now wanting something a little harder edged, you're not going to get that.
Yeah, those days are done.
You're going to get, Disney movies, which is cool because they're always going to be entertaining, and the good guy is always going to win, which is awesome. That's the point. But if you want a little bit more gray area, you go to Netflix because that's where all their great characters are going to be. The Daredevils, the Luke Cages, the Jessica Jones, the Punishers, the Moon Knights, maybe they're going to put Blade there. I mean, it's just there's so much that they could do there that they aren't willing to do on the big screen with, because you wouldn't have seen that Daredevil in a movie.
Which I doesn't.
They
really,
still may do a big screen version with the Defenders, so to speak, but
Yeah, well, that's kind of weird. It bothers me something. It's like, we'll do it on Netflix, but we won't do it in the movie. I mean, it's to me that's stupid. If you're going to do it in one form, why not do it in the other form?
Well, what Warner Brothers is doing is, I think, what DC is smart, is that they're keeping the film universe and the television universe completely separate.
Yes.
Because a lot of people are like, well, why can't Arrow be Green Arrow on the movie? Why can't this Flash be the Flash? You know what? It just doesn't work that way. I wouldn't like it that way. I want there to be two separate, because they'll just be too tied to one another, and it'll be like what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is. It's too confusing. It's like you have to wait, what is this and what? It's confusing. To me, I have a hard time keeping up. And with Arrow, I don't really like the show. And The Flash is fun, but I don't want to see that on the big screen. Sorry, I don't. It's a TV show.
Yeah,
it's very much a TV show.
Yeah, I want, especially with the WB or whatever the show, whatever it is. CW. I don't want that version of Flash on the big screen. I want a grittier, stronger Flash. Yeah. I mean, that's a teeny bopper Flash. Which is what we're going to get, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to see that. And, they're to like that, and even like Smallville, they try to appeal to a young audience, which is fine. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's where their money is. But when it comes to the big movies, Hollywood blockbuster movies,
they keep the line. They keep them separate.
Yeah. I want somebody that can actually shave, and he don't look like he can shave yet. So I mean, I want bad guys.
Given what I was saying, what Warner Brothers is doing is that they're keeping, like with Warner Brothers, DC proper, the Justice League. And they are doing Justice League Dark, which is awesome. They're really darker stuff, like Sandman. That's going to be released in the New Line. So people won't get too confused. Oh, this is a New Line movie, which means it's not tied to our Warner Brothers proper movies. So they're doing even darker movies than their dark, gritty universe is now. But I like that there's a difference, because a lot of people are like, well, you have to be like Marvel movies. No, then the bubble would burst if all the comic book movies were the same. Because I like X-Men being at Fox. Because again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. There's no way Disney makes Deadpool, especially hard R. There's no way that movie gets made under the Disney flag. I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Marvel right now is on top, and they're going to probably be on top for a while. I mean, DC's coming out with their movies, but like I said, they're going to be more harder edge, so maybe their parents won't be as eager to take them to the next, Batman vs. Superman ones. So I think in that context, I think Marvel still might do better sales, because like I said, a lot of their movies are going for like a harder audience, and they're not really family films.
Yeah.
So in that context, I think Marvel still might be on top for a little bit, but I think the quality of movies for DC is going to be up.
Because remember, Disney is selling family entertainment.
Yes, and DC is selling entertainment.
Look, there has to be a difference. Like, look, I appreciate what Marvel is doing, but you can also appreciate what DC is trying to do. Something darker. Okay, so we have, again, as fans, that's awesome. We get to have both.
Yep.
So that's cool. Anything else?
Oh, yes. The next thing we're going to talk about real quick is we talked about it, I think it was the last episode, about the possible merging of Godzilla versus King Kong.
Happening 2020.
Yep. So what's going to happen first? So first is going to be the new King Kong movie, and was it
2017, Kong Skull Island. And, was housed at Universal. The Legendary moved it over to Warner Brothers because Universal, whatever the case, they didn't want to put them on. Whatever, but Universal had just made, $1.6 billion off of Jurassic World. So they're like, wait a minute. We don't need to invest in monster. We have Jurassic Park dinosaurs. We're good. you know. So Legendary said, okay, fine, we'll see what's going on over here, see if we can make Godzilla versus King Kong happen, and next thing you know, boom, Godzilla versus King Kong is happening. So 2017, Kong Skull Island will be released. Then the next summer, Godzilla 2 is happening. Then in 2020, Godzilla versus King Kong.
Awesome. Well, because when that movie came out, what, in like the 60s or something like that? Godzilla versus King Kong movie?
This movie is so awful.
Yeah.
There was an American version and the Japanese version. The American version, King Kong won. The Japanese version, Godzilla won. Because, again, it's like that. But, as a kid, I'm like, I'm a Godzilla guy, man. Come on.
Yeah. So, what's probably going to happen is they'll fight each other for a little bit, then they'll probably team up and fight somebody.
Yeah, that's exactly what the plan is.
Any word on what Skull Island's going to be about?
All I know is that the organization that was in the Godzilla movie, that was the Monarch, that was headed by the Ken Watanabe character. That same organization is going to be leading the Kong expedition, I believe. The Skull Island they're going to have a presence in the movie. So to keep those two, to kind of tie them as a,
together,
movie, okay. As a cinematic universe, my bad.
Because I dug the remake one; it was okay. The one
when they showed Godzilla, it was awesome.
No, I'm not talking about Godzilla. I'm talking about King Kong.
Oh, the Peter Jackson one.
Yeah, that one was okay to me. What, like the giant bugs threw it off.
It made $550 million worldwide. It was a big hit, and surprise, surprise, they considered it an underperformer because a lot of people thought it was going to make $1 billion worldwide because Peter Jackson had just come off The Lord of the Rings, and the movie, from what rumor has it, the movie cost upwards of $250 million by itself. And so, hence why the Skull Island thing was dragging its feet for the last 10 years. Because there was always talk of doing a sequel. It's just they thought the movie was going to be a bigger hit than what it was.
Yeah, like I said, it just a little bug. I think they're on the island a little too much.
It took what? You don't see Kong until what? It felt like 2 hours into the movie.
Yeah.
But and the Godzilla movie was a bigger hit than they thought it was going to be. Because look, again, say what you want about the movie itself. When they showed Godzilla, that was awesome.
Yeah.
All the Godzilla scenes were awesome. It's just it's a Godzilla movie, and you don't see a lot of Godzilla.
Well, it's like with the other Godzilla movies, you don't see that much Godzilla. But like I said, they focus more on human characters. Why? Because human characters don't cost that much money to animate.
Yeah.
So,
now that the movie was a big hit, they promised, okay, in the sequel, you're going to see a lot more of Godzilla. So in Godzilla 2, expect to see a lot more of the big guy. Yeah, especially with them pushing the whole Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
That's happening. 2020, that is happening.
God, I'm going to be so old when that comes out.
Yeah. It's only 5 years away.
Yeah. Such a long way. All these cool movies come out, we have to wait like 4 years for them. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. The Incredibles 2 is coming out in 2019.
Really? That long?
Yeah. Toy Story 4 is moved back to 2018 so that they can make room for Cars 3. Look, I understand. They make Cars movies simply because they sell a lot of toys. They sell a crap load of toys, okay? Cars, that's why Cars 2 happened, which was a terrible movie. And guess what? I don't like Cars 1.
I didn't like Cars 1.
So there's going to be a Cars 3.
Yeah, Cars was definitely was my probably least favorite Pixar movie. I never
easily.
I'd never seen 2 because it looked really, really stupid, and I can't wait for the third one not to watch it.
Pass.
It's just pass. You don't. It's like my friend. He bought it was years ago. He bought a CD because the girl on the cover would look hot. I'm like, you don't buy music like that, dude.
Wow.
That's what I was like, dude. You don't buy. Yeah, it's like you don't buy music that way. You can porno, whatever. Yeah, do it that way, but you don't buy music that way.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I am Ice. This is Tank. We're Pop Culture Kings. We'll see you guys next time.